Alright, second batch of Q&A here right now, and hopefully I will get to mostly all of them. Hopefully I won't have to do a 3-part video with this, so let's not waste any time and let's get right into it. And the first question we got here on the second batch here is a face heal system by Miss V, and with the face heal system, I think it's really good to have, and it especially makes the storylines more interesting. I think it definitely builds up the characters who are coming into wrestling, and shows who they are, at times too, depending on what your character is and how you are. As long as they don't change from heel to face constantly, I think that kind of ruins it and it makes it a lot confusing. If you can go for heel for maybe 2 years or a year, that would be fine, and then turn face, and then continue with a different story and as a different character, stuff like that. I think that would be a lot more better, so it won't be so much confusing. Hopefully I answered that question right, so that's what I think about the heel and face system. Next question we got here is from Gold Standard 000, and his question is, out of the mid-carders, who do you think has the most potential to be an awesome main eventer? Well, to me, I had quite some time to think about this, and I had to come down to a decision, and my decision with that is, I'm going to have to go with Alberto Del Rio. May not seem like it right now, but, he has been on the road so far, and if, he stays in the WWE and doesn't go anywhere, or doesn't get released and, all that stuff, I think he will have, potential to be a main eventer. So far he has a good resume, defeating Rey Mysterio in the main event in his, first SmackDown appearance. That has to be, say a lot for Alberto Del Rio, and so far he has been on the road, so hopefully he keeps it up. And in my opinion, as of right now, I think he'll be one of the potential guys to be a main eventer that is in mid card. So hopefully I answered that good enough, and that's what I'm going to go with that. Next question we got here comes from Gold Izzy, and he wants to know who is my favorite high flyer and why. I kind of had a tough time with this. There's so many great high flyers in wrestling in general too, so it's really hard to come up with a full final decision on who it's going to be. I had to go with probably Evan Bourne, and the reason why, when he's in the ring, he's actually a good wrestler, and I like when he does his whole Evan Bourne going up to the top and the splash and everything. I think that's really cool, and I think he has good fast pace to him, and he's a good high flyer, especially when he's in the ladder matches too, like the Money in the Bank, and he just really shines there. So I think that's the reason why I would pick Evan Bourne, as one of my favorite high flyers. So hopefully I answered that one good. Alright, next thing we got here is actually a couple questions here from Talent123H, and he wants to know what DVD I want to see out, and actually a few of them. I definitely want to see a Randy Orton DVD. I think that would be excellent, just as good as a Chris Jericho DVD. Hopefully it would be a 3-disc DVD set. I think we have, good matches from Randy Orton in there, and I think that would be a really great DVD to have. Next one I want to see is hopefully, if it happens, maybe a Christian DVD. Hopefully that one would be good as well. Maybe something similar like to Edge's DVD. I also would like to have a story in there too about Christian. Now I'm not too sure if it would be a 3-disc DVD set, maybe a 2-disc. Even if it's that would be good enough too. Also, I actually would like to see a better John Morrison DVD. The other one that he had released was okay. It was only 1 disc, and there wasn't that really much matches, but only Red TV matches. But if they came up with another John Morrison DVD, and they had it like at least a 2-disc, maybe 3, I think that would be awesome. So, we'll just have to wait and see on that one. So, good question with that. Next question here is, who would I have Undertaker face at WrestleMania 27? well, Chris Jericho, and the reason is I think that would be a good match, a good back and forth matchup between these two, and I think it would, be one of the matches of the night at WrestleMania. So I would really love to see that. Hopefully, have Chris Jericho win the Royal Rumble, and if the Undertaker was champion at the time, I would have loved him, the Undertaker to win the championship, at the recent pay-per-view that just passed, and then, have Chris Jericho challenge the Undertaker, and maybe even for the championship at WrestleMania, or even if it's just a non-title match. It doesn't have to be necessarily a championship match, but I think that would be really awesome with that. Next thing we got here is what would have to be my dream WrestleMania main event. I wouldn't really consider this, match of mine to be a main event. Maybe around in the middle of the WrestleMania card. I definitely would love to see Caval versus Rey Mysterio and Evan Bourne, maybe in a ladder match. I think that would be really, awesome and a great fast-paced match. I don't know if there would be any titles on the line involved, but just having a regular ladder match would be awesome. So I think that, I'm going to have to go with that. Next thing we got here is, if we're having a book, an Elimination Chamber match, for WWE and TNA. I haven't really thought about that too much yet. Probably have guys like Undertaker, Kane in there, Randy Orton. I'm just naming these on the top of my head. Probably guys like Triple H, in there as well. John Cena. Then I would pick another one if I had to pick another one. Maybe Evan Bourne too. I don't know. This is just coming off of my top of my head. I haven't really gotten to think about this too much just yet. On the TNA side, I'll probably have Sting, Abyss, maybe AJ Styles in there as well. There's only so much that we could put on this Elimination Chamber, so it's really hard to choose. So, I'm going to have to really think about that more, and, hopefully come up with a better answer too. So, that's what I came up with so far in the top of my head. It may not sound like a great Elimination Chamber, but, that's what I came up with so far, so I do apologize for that. Next thing we got here, next question is from Sounds of the Town, and that is, what is my favorite WWF and WWE game? Well, plain and simple, I'm going to have to go with the original SmackDown, which is SmackDown 1, and from WWE, it'll have to be, probably, Shut Your Mouth. I thought that was a, good game from WWE, and, THQ always, seems to be pulling off, good games from WWE, so that would have to be, another favorite. Then we get into the next question here, and that is Simon Michael HD, and his question would have to be, if you could pick any celebrity to guest host Monday Night Raw, who would it be? There's so many guest hosts you can have. I'm getting still a little tired of it, but if I had to pick one, probably Will Smith. I think, he'll be good guest host, and, it's really funny, so, why not Will Smith, in my opinion. Then we get into, next question we got here, and this one is, I'm previewing, right now, if the Royal Rumble 2011, Kevin Nash will be in the Royal Rumble match. Do you think this is possible? Well, my answer with that is maybe. It all depends on if Kevin Nash, leaves TNA early. I know, if you leave TNA, you have like a 90-day clause. So if Kevin Nash leaves early and then somehow comes back into the WWE and, at least in the Royal Rumble match for one night only, then yes, maybe that can happen. But, we're going to have to wait and see. So a very good question with that. The last question we got here from Simon Michael HD is, who's winning at WrestleMania 27, Cena or The Undertaker, with Cena versus The Undertaker? And my answer would just have to be, well, The Undertaker. I would like The Undertaker to go out, WrestleMania undefeated at WrestleMania. It would be really great at his resume. And, Cena will come close, I think, and, something similar to, HBK and Taker, that type of match, and where Cena will come close and almost ending the streak, but I think Taker will come back and, continue his WrestleMania undefeated streak. That's just the way how I see it. So very good question with that, and all the questions that you sent, so I really do appreciate that. Last thing right here is Philip has one, and he actually has, a couple of questions, and, first question we got here is one of my top 3 wrestling themes, and I came up with The Rock, Randy Orton, and one of Austin's, old school themes with the Alliance, that Rock theme that Austin used to have. I thought that was a great theme, one of my favorites. So that's my top 3 wrestling themes. And next thing will have to be, what is my favorite wrestling pay-per-view? And that has to be, well, plain and simple, the Royal Rumble. It's a great pay-per-view, and the only time when you're going to see 30 superstars in, one match like that. And, Royal Rumble has always been my favorite, leading up to WrestleMania, and of course WrestleMania is also one of my favorite pay-per-views. So, that's how I'm going to go with that. Next thing we got here is, who would I book for WWE TNA in 4 matches. I haven't come up with a 4th match yet, but I will get back to you on that. The other matches that I did come up with is Undertaker versus Sting in a Hell in a Cell match. I think that would be cool. With Sting now, might not work, but if it was like, Sting from back in the day, I think that would be, a really great match, being the fact, they have, they're not really, too much great in the ring right now. Of course, Undertaker with his injuries and stuff like that. So, maybe back in the day, I think that would be, a good match. Next one we got here is AJ Styles versus Evan Bourne. I think this would be a good fast-paced match between these two. Definitely one of my favorites, so I think that would be awesome. So that's it with that one. And the third one will have to be Kane versus the Best, Monsters Ball match. Of course, Kane and the Best, it's pretty much similar once you think about it. So I think that would be, a great match, at least pretty good match, to see from those two. So that's basically it with WWE TNA. We'll get back to you on, the 4th match and any other questions that I haven't really fully came up with final decisions on. So I did try my best, so I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the Q&A and that has to do with the video. And as always, I will talk to you guys later. Peace.